YouTube, it's NowIAmNappy, and I'm back for another Tip Tuesday. Now this week we are going to be making this bomb DIY aloe vera, hibiscus, and shea butter moisturizer. As you know, the previous week we made a gel, but a lot of you guys wanted me to do a moisturizer for this, so I decided to make one for you. And then the final part of this video, I'll be talking about some of your preservative questions while I apply this hibiscus moisturizer to my hair. So I'm briefly going to mention the reason why we chose hibiscus and aloe is because they have a lot of healing and moisturizing properties. And y'all, it's summertime and we want something that's kind of light, but definitely moisturizing for our hair. And that's kind of where the shea butter comes in. Some people may feel it's a bit heavier, but this recipe I'm bringing you guys is perfectly moisturizing for your hair if you're looking for a light and creamy moisturizer for the summertime. And at the end of this video, while I apply this moisturizer to my hair, I will answer some of your preservative questions that you left in my Instagram story and down below in the other video if I didn't get a chance to answer you. All right, so let's jump in and get to mixing. Now you're going to go in with your tea mixture. You're going to use half a cup of distilled water with 2 tea bags. Now we want the water to be warm so the tea can go ahead and brew. So you're going to use about 100 grams or half a cup of this tea mixture. Now while this is brewing, we're going to go in with our aloe leaf. Now we only have half left, as we know we used the other half about 2 weeks ago. So go ahead and cut the sides and down the middle and then scrape this into a blender to blend and strain for later. And once your aloe is finished blending, go ahead and strain about 40 grams of the aloe vera into your tea mixture. Next, let's add 14 grams of glycerin or to your tea and aloe phase, and that's it for your water phase. Now we're going to move on to our oil phase, and we're going to begin with 10 grams of BTMS 50. Then we're going to add 5 grams of cetyl alcohol. Next, add 14 grams of shea butter. If you don't have shea butter or you want this mixture to be very light, you can use mango or kokum butter. Finally, I'm going to add 12 grams of my Ayurvedic hair oil. All right, now this completes my oil phase, and I'm going to move this right onto the stove to heat this up for about 20 minutes. Now that your mixture is heated and the wax and oils have completely melted, we are going to go ahead and blend for our emulsion phase. Now y'all, this is my favorite part because this is science right here. This is chemistry happening right before your eyes. So as I pour in the oil phase, look how the water starts to get cloudy. And I'm going to go in with my immersion blender and blend this up so that the phases completely combine together. All right, you guys, so since this is steeping hot, I'm going to set this to the side in the fridge for about 20 minutes to let it cool and thicken. After 20 minutes, look how thick and creamy this mixture is. Y'all, I'm absolutely in love with this. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and preserve my product, you guys. We are going to be talking about preservatives while I apply this to my hair, but preservatives are what is going to keep this mixture for as long as possible. So go in with 2 grams of your preservative. And then, of course, we want this to smell amazing because this will be left onto our hair. So I'm going to be using 4 grams of essential oils. So I'm going to use a bit of lemon essential oil, cedarwood essential oil, and orange essential oil. I just really like this blend for my hair. And yeah, that's all I'll be using. Now just look how beautiful this mixture looks, y'all. I blended it one last time. It's nice and creamy. It's not super thick. It's kind of light, but y'all, you're going to get all of the moisturizing, hydrating properties that you need from your hair right now. Okay, so I'm going to shampoo my hair, deep condition, and then come back on and twist up my hair for you guys and answer your preservative questions. Now, y'all, before I start answering your questions, this mixture is so light and smells really, really good. Now, a lot of y'all were worried about staining because of the hibiscus tea, and I have not experienced any staining with this mixture. Is very, very conditioning going onto my hair. There's a lot of slip in here. I can easily finger detangle my hair. Also, y'all peep my nails. I did these myself. These are actually polygel nails. I'm always experimenting with my nails. All right, so I'm gonna finger detangle, twist up my hair, and answer your questions. Okay, so the first question I have is, can salt be used as a preservative? Now, if you're talking about regular table salt, the answer is no, not for your hair products. But if you're talking about potassium sorbate, which is a potassium salt, which is from sorbic acid, yes, you can use this as a preservative. Now, this is not a broad spectrum preservative. It needs to be combined with other preservatives. Usually you'll find it in conjunction with sodium benzoate, which is also a food grade preservative, but it really helps to prevent bacteria, mold, and yeast. And you can use this in your DIY emulsions. So yeah, you can definitely use that particular salt, but not regular table salt to preserve your products. Now, the next question I have, I actually went into more detail in my other video, but I'll briefly mention this. And the question says, do hair butters need preservatives, including hair mists as well? So hair butters do not need preservative if it's just oil and butters together. That's an anhydrous mixture. The only possibility of you needing preservatives in hair butters or anhydrous butter mixtures is if there's potential to get water or other water-based products mixed in there, which can cause contamination, mold, and bacteria to grow. So no, if you're going to keep it far away from water-based products. Now, if you're going to be using hair mists or hair teas, as I mentioned in my other video, yes, you will definitely need a preservative for those. Most teas and rinses will last about 5 to 7 days in the fridge. Just imagine if you leave your tea out on the counter, how many days before you start to see mold growing in it? And that's generally how long it's going to take before you start to see mold growing into your hair mist. Okay? So the next question I got was someone asked me about what my thoughts were on Dermaben 2. Now, Dermaben 2 actually contains parabens, Methylparaben Propylparaben, and also a small amount of a formaldehyde releaser. But let me tell you what I think about this. Actually, I have Dermaben 2 in my house. I have used it, and I'm going to explain to you why. So Dermaben is actually used for very troublesome formulas. So if you have products in here that contain a lot of plant extracts, that contain a lot of herbal extracts or herbal plant-based oils, those things produce a lot of microbial activity. And so adding the parabens in this mixture is one of the only ways I was able to preserve my mixtures long enough. Now, the thing is, they recommend using up to a level of 1%. So you have some range within there. But the thing I think is most important is the breakdown in which the parabens and the urea is used in here. So the methylparaben is 0.11%. Propylparaben is 0.03%. And the propylene glycol is 0.56%. Now, I'm particularly mentioning these percentages because I want you to understand that these are actually minute fractions that you're using. And they are one of the only things that I've seen to truly kill in some of these plant-based products. Now, there is a lot of debate about parabens out there. What I found in the research is actually surprising that parabens have actually not been tested on humans. They have only been tested in labs. And some of the studies are not as conclusive as people made it out to be. And in the marketplace, there's definitely a negative connotations about using them. And a lot of people will still feel like, you know what, if there's a small percentage, I don't want it. But I personally, when I have been mixing some of my mixtures, I notice that things won't stay for a long time unless I use something stronger. And this is one of the few preservatives I found that will literally last for the full year without getting any type of mold, bacteria, or fungus within this. But let me just say, it's your health and your choice. So make sure you find a preservative that matches your lifestyle and your things. This is new, and maybe eventually I'll find a natural preservative that can be as effective as Dermaben too. If you have any recommendations, I'm definitely open to trying them out. And just know any products that I send you guys will be used with natural preservatives, as I know that is very, very important to you and very important to my brand. So the next question that I got a lot of response about is there a certain amount of time the products stay preserved for? So this is actually going to depend on each preservative. Now, each preservative has a particular shelf life. A lot of preservatives, they say 1 year. Some will say 9 months. So you want to look on the label of your preservative to find out the length of time it will stay preserved. But honestly, you guys, a preservative is not the only thing you want to look at. Oils actually have a particular shelf life. Some oils have a shelf life of 6 months or 9 months. So it definitely depends on the type of oils or plant extracts that you use in these particular DIY products that will determine the complete shelf life of your product. And for those who are asking about Optifin, Optifin has a shelf life of 1 year. So the next question is, how do I know if a preservative made the entire batch bad? Now, this was interesting because I talked a little bit about this in my previous video, but really it doesn't make the batch bad, but what happens is it causes separation, like severe separation. So I know Optifin can do that. I'm actually going to show you one of my sadly terrible mixtures in which the products started to separate, and I would consider that to be a bad batch. If you mean something different, let me know in the comment section down below. But what happens is Optifin can cause the emulsion to completely separate and start to break down. So you'll see like different parts. Maybe you'll see more water or some oil separated in your emulsion, just like in this mixture. Let me tell you, I was very, very sad that this happened to me. It's happened multiple times. So you definitely want to test out a small portion of your mixture before just throwing the entire preservative into your batch to know if separation may occur. Now, you guys, those are just some of my ramblings and thoughts on this. I'm actually going to make a blog post a little bit more on preservatives because you guys do have a lot of questions, and that way I can link some of my sources and sources that you guys can look up regarding the use of parabens and other benefits of using synthetic or non-synthetic preservatives. If you guys have any additional questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. My twists are ready and bomb, and I'm going to just pin them up for the night and wear them for the week. My hair feels very moisturized and hydrated and squishy and soft and amazing. That's it for this week's Tip Tuesday. I'll see you next time. Bye.